Alright, well, the boys are back. Is it going to be a delicious magic pie, or is this going to be a pie full of crows? I don't know where I was going with that metaphor. I was just trying to think of a funny intro. Okay, let's get into this album. Fragments of the Fifth Element by Magic Pie. So, Magic Pie is a delightful little retro prog band from the Netherlands? I want to say they're from the Netherlands. No, they're not from... Come on, get up there. From Norway. Close enough. They're from Norway. Great retro prog. These guys really made a name for themselves when I heard their Suffering Joy album back in 2011. This came out at the perfect time for me. I was really doing deep dives of symphonic prog and retro prog, and Magic Pie just blew me away with the Suffering Joy. Then they put out King for a Day in 2015, and it was okay. It didn't knock my socks off, but it was fine. Then we come into the album that was released now, which is the Fragments of the Fifth Element. Man, did I love this album. This was a great time. I think the main thing that works for me twofold. One is the structure, and two is the length. The structure of this album is fantastic, with 4 songs opening up the album that range between 8 to 4 minutes, and then the big closing track of 22 minutes. So the structure and the length work perfectly. It harkens back to those early days of prog where you can only fit so much time on an LP. It has a clear midpoint. I can flip the album over. And the structure is so well done. The first 3 tracks, The Man Who Had It All, PNC, and Table for Two, do exactly what I want for a retro symphonic prog work to do. It's big, it's overblown, it's in your face, it's got a lot of fun playing styles, there's a lot of key changes, the rhythms are really all over the place. I gotta call out the drummer of Jan Hosannesen? I think it's Jan. Yeah, it could be John. The guy's drumming work is superb. Good job, mate. So very good. The Man Who Had It All is a great little opening for it. It's fun, it's atmospheric, it's very optimistic. I like that the second track of PNC opens up a little bit more harder. We're coming in with a little bit more of the electric guitar work leading the song through, but the jam session near the midpoint is particularly tasty. I like some of the interplays that we have on there. Touched by an Angel. I love how the end work of this track presents itself. It's the shortest track off the album, but it still uses every little second that it can get to orchestrate such a really tight and finalized work at the end of it. Really like the build up at the end. I thought that at the beginning of this track they were starting to retread some of the ground that we've already heard, but they quickly changed my mind by the mid to later point of this track. Now, Touched by an Angel, the 4th track and the ending in my head of the first side of the album, is a heart-wrenching, beautiful ballad. It's the longest track after the 5th track of The Hedonist, the 22-minute track. And what it does is just, it's so intimate, it's so heart-wrenching, it's never over the top, it's never melodramatic, it's bluesy in effect as well. We have a lot of that blues guitar work that's kind of ushering us through. And again, if I called out the drum works, I gotta call out the lead vocals. I'm gonna butcher this. Eriker Hogson? I think that's it. As well as Eric Hansen. The man's emotive power on this track is just heart-wrenching, especially near the midpoint of this track where it really builds itself up, and it feels like he's almost lamenting into this vast void, and he's not even sure if anybody's going to be calling him back. But yeah, some of the things that are going on is just heart wrenches. So friggin' good. And yeah, so I guess that just leaves us with the big piece. No symphonic prog would be complete without the big epic, and this one is The Hedonist. Very much like the Suffering Joy, this track goes all over the place. For me, though, it never feels like it completely leaves the map. It always kind of feels a little bit on the safe side, but The Hedonist still has a really good kind of touchstone moment that opens and closes it. I love the ebb and flow. I love the build-ups. I love the payoffs within this track. Has some really, really great interplay between the guitars and the keyboardists as well. Very interesting, and it always catches my ear. Like, I never feel bored within this track or throughout the entirety of this runtime as well. It might not necessarily be the best that the band has done, but it's nowhere near their worst. So overall, I've been really loving this album. I've really, really enjoyed my time within this, and I don't plan on leaving it anytime soon. This is an album definitely that I would pick up in physical format. This actually lends itself perfectly to a physical format purchase. So yeah, it's a solid recommendation for me if you're looking for some good retro prog. Because this year we haven't had a whole lot. We've had a few, but I'm glad that we've found a good addition to the retro prog outfits out there. So yeah, give it a spin. That's it for the Fragments of the Fifth Element by Magic Pie. What did you guys think? Have a listen to it, and once you do, let me know of your own thoughts by commenting down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, that's out.